Waiting on you.
Welcome to our YouTube channel, OLOPRV.
We're the Waagners.
And we just wanted to do a nice brief history on who we are.
Yep.
And what we were doing and how we evolved from a boat to a Skoolie now.
Yes. Yeah, about a 6-year history about that.
Yeah.
So I was living in Fort Lauderdale on a boat, nice boat, and had all the intentions of doing what they called the Great American Loop. And the more I tried, the harder it failed me, or it just didn't seem to work. And then we met, and I had talked this one into doing it, and
I was going on the loop.
And then reality set in that he wasn't going to be able to just walk on land if he needed to, and we kind of ixnayed that and said, nah. And so
we always trying to get us in a budget that we can afford to live life for a long period of time versus having to go back to work after we do this great loop.
Right.
You know, we would all have to go back to work, and I want Curtis to be able to stay retired and enjoy life without having to work. He's already put his time in. I don't want him to go back to work.
Right. So we had the boat for a year or so, brought it all the way to Biloxi, Mississippi from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Had a great trip. It was
we got stuck in a tropical storm, and we had 12-foot seas, and that was kind of like, I can get rid of the boat now. I did it. I done it. It's gone.
We both were kind of done.
But we did decide if we wasn't going to sell it, if we couldn't sell it for the price we wanted, we put a price on it. If we weren't going to sell it, then we were going to do the loop no matter what. But we ended up selling it within a week or something, that we decided that we were going to go on the loop, and all of a sudden it sold. And so we were totally excited about that. And then that leads us up to our Class A that we did have.
43.5 foot. Newmar Dutch Start, tag axle, quad slide, big old diesel pusher.
Pure luxury in any form, fashion, with the quad slide. It's just a beautiful rig.
Yes.
But it has a price tag on beauty and luxury.
Right. And part of what I enjoy is not just going to RV parks. And I want to see some nature. I want to see, I want to be off-grid, and I know there's a couple guys out there, RV geeks, have basically the same model, and but they'll tell you got to be careful getting that thing off-road. And I know I got it stuck one time, and it cost me like $700 to go 7 feet, and from that moment on I was kind of looking for an alternative.
Yeah, you don't want to bring a rig out to get scraped if it has $60,000 paint job, or
on the MSRP. I mean, you don't pay that now, but the listing for the paint job was like $60,000, and you don't want to mess that up. You just don't want to take that to a state park and get it scratched up. So we ended up selling that.
Yep,
and bought.
We wanted to downsize all the way to our first Woody.
Yep.
A tag trailer, just because we wanted to be cheaper.
Something we could tow, something that if we scratched it up we wouldn't be as mad about. And I used to tow a Dodge Ram behind the motorhome, and then so we just took that Dodge Ram and repurposed it to tow the trailer instead of.
And I was working at the time, so I felt like it was in our means at the time to pay for a $20,000 tag trailer, which we bought it brand new, and we lost $5,000 in 2 years on it. But at the same time, it wasn't that big of a deal. We learned our lesson, but we still had small tanks. We had small bedroom. We were limited on what we can do still.
It was cheap.
Yeah, it was very cheap and
built.
But you're still limited on what you can do. That was the main thing, and we bought it to be a weekend hauler. So it was served its purpose for 2 years.
Yep.
We didn't really use it as much as we thought,
Nope.
It's a lot more work when you're on vacation or wanting to take 2 days off of work just to take it out and come back. So
right. And go ahead.
Go ahead.
So from that, we ended up building a box truck.
Yeah.
And it was the labor of love. That thing was beautiful. It was a 15-foot box with a cab over, and
this is what started our whole building our own rig from scratch. And then we got spoiled because we put everything that we wanted into it that made our life the way we wanted to live.
Right.
Easy.
Right.
And I've never had anything as a great experience for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll put a link in or somehow for you to find the photos of it. We'll figure that out.
I'll do a special thing eventually with it. How about that?
So, we'll do
it is on the website, OLOPRV.com.
Yeah.
So, it's parts of it. I got to add some more stuff. But.
Right. But anyway, so we think it was a lightning strike, and we had used Tesla battery modules and tremendous amount of power. But I think that was our downfall, was the chemistry inside of them are perfect for what they're used for, and when you take one out of its case that it was built in and you start using modules, it's a designed to fail system.
And we had it plugged into Shoreline at the time of the lightning strikes that we've had.
Yep.
The whole neighborhood was affected by it.
Yep.
So we feel like the Victron reset itself after it was surged by lightning. It kind of did a massive reset, and so it started charging those batteries until they blew up. Because there was no protection other than the Victron protecting it.
Tesla modules do not like to be overcharged.
So that we learned our lesson. We've tucked our tail, and I was still going. I was off of work, so I said, you know what, we're still going to, or Curtis told me, because I cried for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He said, we're still doing the trip no matter what. So he bought a Class C.
Yeah, he had quit his job of 17 years that he loved, and we were going to take a 2-year hiatus and travel.
Yeah.
So we spent almost a year building that box truck. It burned down literally 2 weeks before we left on our vacation.
We didn't want to build anything else. We were overly tired. We were overly exhausted.
Yeah.
We rather said, we're going to buy something now.
Right.
And thought that would be something we wanted to do. And it put us on the road. And without that, I don't think we would be here today.
Correct.
So we're very thankful.
Yeah, it was a Class C with a garage in the back. It was a work and play, and it worked, but it was not as comfortable. I think we were trying to live vicariously through the box truck, thinking this would do it.
We put the back porch on it to kind of match that. It didn't work for us. We were so limited and miserable when we would sleep. I mean, when it was cold outside, I was in a puddle of water with the condensation.
Right.
Again, small tanks. With this one also, small kitchen, no counter space. I couldn't store anything in there.
But it got us back on the road, and we spent several months with it, and we used it, and
we loved it actually. We just needed to stay in warmer weather, and we didn't want to just be. We wanted to be more off road, and off grid. And
then we had somehow, in looking at box truck conversions, we searched for box trucks, and the box truck we bought was from a medical supply company. And they must have hundreds of them because I see them online all the time. And so I told Jonathan, I said, well, let's just buy another one of those and build another one.
We couldn't find the price point we wanted.
Truck, the same year, we paid $12,500
the first time.
And now they're $21,000. And this is like pre-COVID, pre-any of that.
Probably 3 years after, maybe 2 years after, whatever. It was 2 years after, I think, is when we decided to look for these trucks again.
Yeah.
After the fire.
Well, before we bought the bus.
Yes.
And so then I was seeing all these people who say, oh, you can buy a bus for $1,500. And, there's Bob that has a brother that works for the, you can find them, but they're trash. I mean, there's one in a million that's, if you pay $1,500 for it, you're going to get a good bus.
We looked at one that was way overpriced, and it had holes in the bottom. It was all rusted out. There was nothing that we needed underneath for our tanks and all the storage for our AC.
Governed at 55.
governed at 55. It just wasn't the right fit. It's kind of scared us, and we was like, I don't want a bus anymore.
Right.
But we went to one other place that the guy told us about, and we found buses that were pristine condition, no rust.
Right.
Only for 60. How much was it?
6,500.
6,500 out the door, no fees.
That's tax, tag, title, dealer, prep,
everything. And it had a beautiful. It was under 200,000 miles.
170 something.
And it had a Mercedes engine. It
had the Allison automatic.
All the check marks, other than the front other than the flat nose. That's the only thing we wanted that it didn't cross. And
anyone that says, "Oh, I can build a bus in 30 days," it's not something you want to live in. So we've spent.
It took us almost a month just to figure out where the bed was going to go, because it kept going from front to back to the middle.
Yes, we basically spent a year building this bus, and not that we're finished, but we're as finished as we're probably going to get for a long time. We're
going to do odds and ends as we go, and we figure, I want this done, I want this, I want to paint this. But other than that, it's finished.
Right.
In our eyes, it's finished.
So that's our progress, or our progression.
Little history.
Little brief history of what led us to where we are today, and I would have never thought that I would be recording videos to put on the internet.
That was my thing, actually.
And Johnny's done it, and I enjoy it.
Well, the whole goal of the channel is to kind of show that anybody can do it. Right. We built it to be off-road, off-grid, and we want to share how much it's costing us, and where we're going, where we're staying at, what we're interested in, and any other thing that
just a different lifestyle that some may think, oh, I want to do this, and watch us and say, heck no. Or maybe it'll encourage somebody to say, God, if they can do it, I know we can do it. So,
and solar is our main source, and we haven't plugged into any landlines for a year, probably a year
and 4 months.
Has to be year and 4 months now, and you can do it. You invest in the very beginning,
right?
But that's your investment is at the beginning, instead of always having to buy fuel or upkeep or maintenance on a generator every 50 hours or so. So,
and there's security in buying factory batteries that have reliability. And we bought lithium ion phosphate from Battleborn, and couldn't be happier. We trust them. They definitely give you security. I was tickled to death when we built our first one, but I did know then that it's something that I'd have to constantly maintain. You wire them up and you walk away. You don't worry about it for 10 years.
And our main goal after all said and done is, well, the Battleborns, first of all, is it gave us the sense of safety, security, and after being through a fire and everything, you really need that to balance yourself out in each other, because things go wrong all the time.
Right.
So next is we wanted to make sure that we wanted to leave very little negative impact left behind when we were done with it. So,
well, we wanted to be able to go somewhere where we didn't have to plug in. We carried our own water, we composting our poo, and doing all the things that allow us to go whenever and wherever we want. And you just can't do that in most motorhomes. And we're tickled to death with this, and hopefully y'all are too.
Hopefully y'all enjoy our journey and enjoy us.
Yep.
We want to share positivity and love your way, and that's all we're here really to do. So, last thing we want to talk about is we're actually going to a tiny home festival in San Diego.
Yep.
Tiny Fest.
Yes, it's May 14th, 15th, and 16th at Del Mar Fairgrounds. It's in San Diego, and if you're interested or in the area of San Diego, go to the Tiny House Festival, look us up,
say hey,
and if you come by and visit, we'll give you a sticker. We got our new stickers out, and
we would love to see y'all and meet some of the people that are following us or have common grounds.
Hopefully you enjoy watching our channel. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified when we do more videos, hit that bell notification. You'll be notified about all the great things that we're doing.
Bing!